Trump states the golden era is here and it's truly time to get prepared. But what does that mean for the normal everyday American trying to survive? And how can the normal everyday American actually take advantage of it this time? How do we get to a position where the 1% don't always remain the 1%? So, what I hope to do on my channel is demystify all this. This is not the get rich quick channel. This is getting wealthy for sure by understanding a few components here. Number one, your emotions are their profits. Number two is there is no get rich quick. And number three, that during moments like this, you and others can transform their family's wealth timeline by becoming stoic and calm, by studying what is actually happening, making strategic moves, and understanding cash flow, what these deflationary assets are that have fixed supplies that are changing the financial system, understanding how to protect your wealth and how to properly use leverage. Everybody's using leverage. There's only debt in America. So what I'm going to break down is Trump posted, the golden era is here. I'm going to show you the gold paper, not the white paper, from World Liberty Financial. And then we're going to go a little bit deeper into Kathy Woods and real billionaires actually building wealth from this, not get rich quick. Okay. If you want to try to get rich quick and think that you're going to become a multi-millionaire in the next 90 days, this is not your channel. Now, why can we say this? As we built an ecosystem. We went from losing everything in 2020 because of the pandemic, finally studying what the wealthy actually do, to building an actual financial ecosystem where we became seven-figure investors. We diversified outside. We became seven-figure entrepreneurs. And now we're going to continue to build generational wealth over the next 6 years. So if you're someone who wants to lock in for the next 6 years with us, lock arm in arm and climb up that mountain together, I'm here with you and we're going to do this. Okay. And also, I want to share with you on my channel, God is number one. I like to say that. All right. So check this out. So the golden age is here. Okay. It's the golden age. I said golden era. He said the golden age. But what is that? Okay. This sounds good. It sounds attractive. This sounds exciting. But how do we actually contextualize this? What is happening? We're moving from Web 2.0 to Web 3.0, industrial to technical, wartime to peace. Okay. Web 2.0 to Web 3.0. I'm going to say it one more time. Industrial to technical, wartime to peace. In peacetime, presidents, it's all about innovation, technology, and private and public sector coming together. There's your hint. Okay. So it's your job to study what is actually happening. What does he mean by the golden era? And I want to be very clear with you guys. I'm always honest what I invest in. I am dollar cost averaging into this weekly now. Okay, I did get access to it. I'm dollar cost averaging into it. World Liberty Financial Token. It is going to be a big part of my portfolio. So just like I do, I start getting in, I get involved. Once I understand something, and only when I understand something, I start to invest in. So this is going to end up being a larger part of my portfolio. I trust in this project. I like being the fact that they're building a DeFi, decentralized platform. I like the fact that the utility within the token gives me voting rights within the actual DeFi bank that is going to change the world. So I believe in this. So I'm putting my money where my mouth is. Okay. So this is what's called. So just so you know, if you're new to crypto, I highly recommend that you pull up white papers. Okay. So pull up the Bitcoin white paper, study it. Pull up the XRP white paper, study it. Pull up the Solana white paper, study it. Well, Trump called this the gold paper, right? So this is an example of a white paper. So if you dive into this, we'll read the first paragraph, okay? So the introduction, so right here, so the introduction to this, inspired by the vision of Donald J. Trump, World Liberty Financial, WLF, is a pioneer in the new era of decentralized finance. WLF's mission is to democratize access to financial opportunities while fortifying the global status of the US dollar. And I'll explain to you in simplicity what he means by that. And I'll show you what they're doing and how they're doing that. To accomplish this goal, WLF strongly believes in supporting US dollar-based stablecoins. There's your hint. And DeFi applications that seek to preserve the US dollar status, ensuring it remains the global reserve currency for the next century without compromising the freedoms that decentralized assets provide. Okay, before we head into the next step here is So what he created was decentralized finance, World Liberty Financial, which puts you in first position. Okay, when you have money on World Liberty Financial, when the actual utility comes out, you can be the bank, you can be the lender, you can stake your money to make interest income. Okay, you're in first position. You're the bank. Okay, also he created USD1, which is a stable coin. Now, what do stable coins use? So the difference is World Liberty Financial, it's an asset that goes up and down. It'll be volatile in the cryptocurrency space. Okay, USD1 is just a stable coin. It's a stable coin backed 1-to-1 by the dollar. You have USDT, USD1, you have Tether, that's USDT, sorry. Then you have USDC, you have RLUSD, okay, Ripple stablecoin. These are stable coins. And guess what? You're going to be able to choose which one you want to use. You're going to be in the driver's seat. So what we're doing as consumers is we are investing in the picks and shovels. Okay. You and your family that has no idea what's going on is going to be consuming these picks and shovels. They're not even going to know they're operating on blockchain. They're not even going to know they're operating on Ethereum, Solana, XRP. They're just going to be transacting because now they're going to have to use a stable coin. They're going to have to use USD1. They're going to need to, they're going to have choices though. But base is going to be on the public and private sector coming together. Each bank will have a stable coin. So if they're a Bank of America, you'll be using the Bank of America stable coin. But something has to move all that money across the system. Hence, what I believe XRP is going to be one of the greatest bridge currencies in the world. So I'm not tribal, guys. Bitcoin is gold, which I'm going to show you. Donald Trump Jr. admits that. Bitcoin is gold. XRP is a transaction. They can coexist together, guys. The tribalism is something that wrecks people's portfolio. So remember, this is Brad Garlinghouse on March 19th, 2025. Okay. So Trump is a big fan, I believe, of XRP, right? He put it in his blue chip crypto. You had Solana, XRP, Ethereum. I apologize if I missed some here, Bitcoin, and CRO. Okay. Brad Garlinghouse hanging out at the White House. Michael Saylor hanging out at the White House. Trump is a big fan of Bitcoin. He's a big fan of CRO, XRP, Solana, Ethereum. These are all ones that we've worked to have in our portfolio since 2020.
One thing a lot of people had looked at, we're thinking a lot about how the administration is handling crypto assets, particularly outside of Bitcoin. Why do you think XRP wasn't specifically named in the executive order for the digital asset stockpile?
Okay, so this is reference to remember when everybody freaked out, like, oh my God, XRPs. Guys, there's so, just relax. Be careful on Twitter and all this stuff. Do not. So Kathy Woods, Ray Dalio, Warren Buffett, they're not making decisions off a tweet, guys. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but we do know the stuff that Trump is tweeting. We do know the stuff that he's building. Okay, pay attention to what they're doing.
Well, so XRP was named by the president on Truth Social. He posted something saying that there should be other tokens, that there's going to be a Bitcoin strategic reserve and then a crypto stockpile that would include things like XRP.
Days later, the executive order didn't include it. Why was that?
I don't know what specifically was in the executive order. My understanding is there's going to be a Bitcoin strategic reserve. There'll be a crypto stockpile representing other cryptos. And I would expect that will include XRP. Look, at the end of the day, I think the stark contrast is in the Biden administration, we couldn't get a meeting with people at the White House. Now we're welcomed into the White House. And that's just a massive change. I think we want this industry to thrive in the United States. We don't.
Okay. So now what I want you to understand is that Bitcoin's not going anywhere. XRP's not going anywhere, guys. Solana's not going anywhere. HBAR is not going anywhere. I don't believe VeChain is going anywhere. And I don't think World Liberty Financial now is going anywhere. So now you get to decide of which ones resonate with you. That's how you become an intelligent investor. You should not go out and buy XRP, World Liberty Financial, because Coach JV did it. You should go out and buy what you understand at a very, very deep level. That's how you become wealthy. Okay. There is nobody, just like my belief in Jesus Christ and God. Somebody told me one time, I'll never forget this. I think this is really important. Somebody told me as I was growing in influence or whatever this is, being a creator, right? And our channel started to blow up. And, you know, I had come back from Peru and I felt the need to speak my truth with Jesus Christ and God. And somebody said to me, that's going to ruin your business. And you know what I said to them? And I know it's going to offend some people, but I said, that's none of my effing business, man. I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe in God with all of my heart. I believe in XRP. I believe in Bitcoin. and Solana with all of my heart. I believe in World Liberty Financial now with all of my heart. I stand on those. So if World Liberty Financial collapses, I stand on that truth. I go down with the ship. I used to be in the Coast Guard, and I learned a powerful lesson in the Coast Guard. I literally saw a captain go down with this ship, and my old salty sea captain, right? I was in the Coast Guard. At first, I was a young man. I think I was 19 years old when I saw it. I've never seen anything like that in my life. This is important. He got all the people off the boat safely. He locked the bridge and went down into the engine compartment and sunk with the ship. It literally changed my life. To see a man who believed in his business so much, made sure his people were safe, and locked the doors and went down with the ship. That's principles. That's standing on your truth. So as we go through this process, I want you to stand on your truth. I want you to understand this. It's no longer just walking into a financial advisor. I hope, Mr. Financial Advisor, that you're going to set me up for retirement. This is your money and you're getting paid in someone else's debt. We need to wake up.
Crypto just in general is growing faster than the internet was growing, back in, before the kind of .com. It's exploding all around the world and every single country is sprinting at it. And honestly, because we've had good leadership in this country, we're leading the way, but you better China's watching and they're sprinting. The Middle East, I mean, everybody in the Middle East is endeavoring. And guess what? The number one asset is in all of the crypto space by far, by market cap, by notoriety, by brand, and frankly, by function. And really the only one that really stands as digital gold and a true hard asset that's not kind of linked to payment rails, it's Bitcoin. And that's why everybody wants it.
Boom. That's what they're doing, guys. We can argue back and forth. The big money is using Bitcoin as gold. I'm using Bitcoin as gold. Okay. I'm not using it as, I'm not going to transact on Bitcoin. Okay. XRP, I'm going to hold it as a valuable asset. I'm going to sell some off the top, right? I've been accumulating since 17 cents. But these are long-term assets for me, guys. But XRP is a payment rail. Okay. They're two different ecosystems, right? Everybody gets so caught up in and people make bad decisions based on tribalism. Let's watch this video really quick. The audio is a little bit low on this. And then I want to get into Kathy Woods because she's one of the greatest investors, in my opinion.
Well, in 2017, when we first read about Bitcoin,
actually, the audio sucks, so I'm not going to waste your time with that. All right, here we go. So now I want to together listen to Kathy Woods. Okay, Kathy Woods, I am a CEO of multiple companies. So three of them I'm the CEO of. I have 6 companies, and I am an innovative leader, right? So I'm innovating our companies into 2030. So I'm already building my companies into 2030. So we have a model from 2030 reverse engineered. I have the model of how much I want the companies to be the enterprise value by 2030. And I'm innovating in building like the Bitcoin treasury. My CFO's building this for me, XRP treasury, a dividend ETF strategy to take care of the debts and non-negotiables. I literally took my personal strategy and I implemented my company, right? When you use the word treasury, my CFO asked me to clarify this. Like people use a fancy word as treasury. A treasury is when we meet quarterly is the cash, the investments, like that's what a treasury is, right? So, we have the business crypto and then we have personal crypto. My point behind that is that's what I love about her. She's innovating, she's watching, she's looking at the future. And these are things that are really important. And the decisions they make are based on their truth and what they believe. And I would rather follow people like that than triggered by a tweet, that are triggered by, because this is going to do this and this is, the energy this week. It's like, you don't make your investments off of energy this week, right? You make your investments off long-term fundamentals. Will energies affect the market? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Right. And then when the energy affects market, what do? When it's red, you buy more.
Which is about Ethereum and these other cryptocurrencies. Yes. Do you invest in any of these others?
Yes, we have, in our public funds, we've put them, I don't think we can own them here in the UK yet, but in the US, we have them in some of our funds, both of them. Mm-hmm. They're key to the financial services revolution. So
key, do you hear what she just said? So listen to the things that are key to the financial services revolution.
To get people to understand and feel comfortable with that. We don't call it the crypto revolution. It's the digital assets revolution. And it's simply the finternet. the financial internet.
Love that.
Okay, so we do.
And do you believe, are you more bullish on the price potential of Bitcoin than Ethereum?
Yes, we think Bitcoin is the biggest idea. It serves the three revolutions. Global monetary system, they do not. New asset class, they are part of a new asset class, but Bitcoin's going to be the biggest. And new technology, it's the most secure blockchain technology out there.
What about
Okay. So that is very important. Bitcoin is going to be, and that's how I've made my decision, is a financial revolution. I want to own the financial revolution. XRP to me is the financial revolution. Solana is the financial revolution. And people keep asking me, so if you're in my academy, I shared with you guys, and this is, you should not make investment decisions based on what I say. I was in a documentary called XRP Unleashed, rigged from the start. I actually sold out of my Ethereum into Solana. I don't own any Ethereum personally. Okay, so I just want to be very clear with that. You should not make an investment. Ethereum is going to do very, very, very well. It's going to do very, very, very well. That was a personal decision that I did based on my own personal bias. I consolidated into Solana and I'm accumulating Solana. Okay, so that's why I just want to answer that question. I'm always open and transparent with you guys. I've sold all my Ethereum into Solana. That was a while ago. And, I'd be very transparent with you guys, but please don't make a financial decision based on my own personal bias. That's dumb. That's a dumb decision. You should never make that. Ethereum's going to do very, very, very well. It'll probably be a financial decision that I made that will hurt our ecosystem financially in regards to growth on that side, because I did own a good amount of Ethereum. But in my own soul and my own decisions and what I feel based on the documentary I was in, that was a personal decision. That's important, what I just said. Okay, my own biased and personal decision plays a part in my investments. So, for example, my company was like, "Hey, listen, should we make decisions based on that?" No. The company, we have a person that basically runs the treasury, and we have, they need to make financial decisions that are best for our shareholders and those pieces out there, right? So that's why it's interesting. I'll say this, and I'll probably get called out for this, and I'm totally okay with this, but how Jamie Dimon says, Bitcoin is used for money laundering. I don't think he was the one that says poison, but nefarious activities. He said, but I'll let my clients invest in it. And I'm going to I will get called out for this, but it's okay. I was talking shit about Jamie Dimon because he was saying, hey, listen, I won't invest in it, but I'll allow my clients to invest in it. Okay. And now I understand what he was saying. Like, I personally won't invest in it, but I know people are going to do very well with it. And it's part of the infrastructure. Ethereum is massively part of the banking infrastructure. But my point behind this, just like Jamie Dimon was saying, and I'm not touting Jamie Dimon, what I'm saying, he's saying, listen, my personal bias shouldn't affect what my clients want to invest in, right? That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm like, I get it. And so I think it's important to admit when you're wrong in something. I was wrong in that because it happened to me. So now I was in a position where I'm like, I closed out of my Ethereum into Solana based on being part of a documentary and understanding Ethereum's ecosystem and how it was built and things like that. And it's a personal bias. It's personal, right? And it's nothing personal against Ethereum. It's just what I believe. That's personal bias. But then my company was like, hey, listen, what should we listen, that's the enterprise value of our company, right? So does that make sense? And so I think that's really important. My point behind that is I know people watching this, if you're still watching this, is you shouldn't be making these decisions just based on this is how you get wrecked. You listen to a YouTuber, and then you listen to another YouTuber and Twitter, and this Twitter person said this, and this Twitter, blah, blah, blah. Everybody's doing something, guys. There's some personal bias in that. My point behind it is, like, we in our academy, we teach people how to fish. We don't give you a fish. Because if you learn how to fish, you'll eat for a lifetime. Okay. I know that was a little bit of a tangent, but I wanted to make sure I expressed that because people keep DMing me and asking me, do I own Ethereum anymore? If you're in my academy, you know that because I share my portfolio and exactly what I do, but I share with you here too as well. So this is an example of Bitcoin versus inflation. Just take a look at this. Just pause the video and then let me bring you on the screen because I'm kind of ranting here. Okay, so as I always do, I share with you guys exactly what I do. Okay, I'm always going to share with you my portfolio, at least my top 6, and I have many other outside of here, but I am as I mature, I'm 49 years old. In my wisdom, I'm not saying more mature than anybody. I'm saying as I mature in wisdom and understanding and studying, I only study people like Ray Dalio, Kathy Woods. So I'll share with you within This is how my ecosystem works. Okay. God, family, protect your ecosystem at all costs. Out other men's business. I'm too busy working on mine. Okay. So that's my creed for my family. My principles are integrity, honesty, uncompromising belief in God. For business, for family, it's peace, freedom, and family structure. If anything's out of line with that, it's a hard no. Studying wise, okay. Financially, I study people like Ray Dalio, Kathy Woods, Warren Buffett, God rest Charlie Munger's soul, Robert Kiyosaki. I study the billionaires, the people, Kathy, I think I put Kathy Woods in there, right? I watch what they're doing. I watch their moves. I'm trying to learn how they run their companies, the decisions they make. And it's not the hype, guys. It's not. Okay. So that's financially. Spiritually, I study Jesus Christ. I study the Bible. Okay. For my own mental discipline, okay, I study things like Miramata Musashi, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca. And do I believe Christianity and those two can be put together? Yeah. I'm not saying there's some things that are spiritually, I would say you have to use discernment when you're talking about Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Miramata Musashi, things like that. But that's where I create my discipline from, right? So that's the spiritual side. This is the financial side. Okay. Then when it comes to my physical side, people like, I hope I say his name correctly, David Sinclair. Oh my God, I just forgot his name. Gary Brecka, Andrew Huberman. I hope I'm getting their names right. Andrew Huberman, Gary Brecka, David Sinclair. So I'm very strategic on who I study. And then what I do is I build my own model. And I focus on 4 things. For my financial side, which is this channel, cash flow. Cash is trash. I create cash flow every single week. Okay. I created cash flowing businesses and I use cash generating dividends. Okay. Right now I'm using synthetic options, which are getting its options trading through ETFs that are giving me a high return. Okay. And I'll explain this in just a moment. I use my cash flow from the high risk, high return dividends and my cash flow from my businesses. Boom. And I buy deflationary assets, things like Bitcoin and XRP every single day, every single time it dips, and Solana every month. So Solana's dollar cost average every single month. I buy Bitcoin and XRP every single day. And with the excess cash, when the markets are down, I buy more deflationary assets because they're opposite the US dollar. They have a fixed supply. When my assets appreciate, when I have profit, I do pull profits. Bitcoin's off to the side. I've told you a million times, I don't touch Bitcoin, it's gold. Okay. When my other assets profit, I take profits off the table. I don't sit there and watch it go up and down. That's ridiculous. So I take profit and I put it into cash value life insurance. Okay. From my cash value life insurance, I now have Bitcoin sitting over here and cash value life insurance. Boom. I have a leverage component. So when you sit there and watch your markets go up and down, I transmuted profits into protection and Bitcoin. And now I have a leverage component. So I turned $1 into 2. I take the 2 and I turn it back into cash flow. And then I repeat the process. That's how you build wealth. That's the richest man in Babylon. That's the wisdom of King Solomon. It's not hype. It's boring. It's not sexy at all. It takes time. It takes discipline. It takes consistency. And it takes building a model that you know, like, and trust. That's it. Okay. So if you lock and load for the next 6 years, and you'll see people under this tweet, they'll be like, next 6 years? Yes, the next 6 years. Yeah. Yeah. I'm in year 6, 2020, 2021, 22, 23, 24, 25. I'm in year 6 and it works. I promise you. And now the next 6 years, so that'll be 12 years, is generational wealth. Then we start the generational wealth cycle. We got rich. Rich, you can screw up. I'm totally transparent about it. We could screw this up very easily. Wealthy is when you have so much income coming in. You got the family office. You got all this stuff going on. Okay. That's where we're heading to. It's very clear. The plan is set. Reverse engineer it. We will have a family office within the next probably 3 years. We'll have a family office, and then we start building that generational wealth. And we can do it together. That's the cool thing about this. We can do this together. I lost everything in 2020. I had $30,000 in crypto. That was it. And I just got super disciplined, super consistent. I had a liquidity event with crypto, and I didn't buy shit. I bought cash flow. I built cash generating businesses. I got cash generating dividends, and I followed the exact process I just told you. You can do it, but it's going to take discipline. It's going to take emotional intelligence. It's going to take controlling your emotions, and it's going to take putting those blinders on and rewiring the foundation so you can end up in a different situation. Warriors, let's get your shit together. God bless you.